from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the 9 p.m. telecast of the National Channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Kenza Farooq. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Britain offers a tax-free market for apparel and other products of Sri Lanka. The Deputy Minister of Economic Development informs that the negotiations with the USA regarding tariff reductions are to continue. The Colombo Stock Exchange records an all-time high today. The President says that political authority and government officials must engage in a joint mechanism to provide a high level of living standard to the people. 237,000 students qualify for the A-level as per the GCE O-level results. Filings of indictments against former Minister Kehelia Rabukwella and 12 others in the incident of purchasing substandard vaccines deferred. Minister Nalinda Jatissa says that groups which commented regarding the clearance of containers are scared of assisting investigations. USA imposes a 35% tariff on Canadian goods. Now to those and more stories in detail. On today's top story, the British government has taken steps to provide a tax-free entry to their market for the products of Sri Lanka.
Now, it has been reported that this step has been taken in accordance with the updating of British market policy for developing countries. Britain is providing this relief to Sri Lanka at a time when the USA had imposed a tariff of 30% against the island nation. The Sri Lankan High Commission published a media communique of trade relief steps provided to Sri Lanka today. The objective of this program is to provide some kind of relief in order to uplift the economies of the developing countries. This has also been described as a program to obtain high-quality products to the consumers and British businesses. The concerned countries will also receive the relief of obtaining raw materials from various countries for their products. It has also been reported that the new regulations will be effective from next year. Britain introduced this program in 2023 under the new trade policy formulated after the exit from the European Union. British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Andrew Patrick, commented in this regard. According to the High Commissioner, this can be termed as a victory for the apparel sector of Sri Lanka. He also pointed out that Britain is the second largest market in the world for apparels, which has had a trade contribution of 60%. The High Commissioner added that this step will be appreciated by the apparel sector of Sri Lanka. High Commissioner Andrew Patrick elaborated that the producers and exporters of this country should take steps not only to export apparels, but to export various products to Britain, properly using the new trade program introduced by the country. He added that the main objective of Britain is to act in such a way which will bring about economic prosperity both in Sri Lanka and in Britain. The discussions were joined by the government and the JAF institution on behalf of Sri Lanka. General Secretary of the institution, Johan Lawrence, has praised the decision taken by the British government.
Deputy Minister of Economic Development Anil Jayantha Fernando says that discussions will be conducted to further reduce the 30% trade tax imposed by the USA. He made these remarks in a response to a question raised by the opposition in Parliament today. Parliamentarian Gayantha Karunatilaka said that when the USA imposed a trade tax in April, the opposition leader and other members met with the President and held an all-party conference and extended support of the opposition. Later, a group headed by the Deputy Minister went to the USA and held further discussions. This new tax may cause several hardships to all export sectors, including apparel. Deputy Minister Anil Jayantha Fernando said that the USA has given a trade relief of 30% as a result of discussions held with the government. Of the 25 countries that sent courtesy letters, Sri Lanka is the only country that received the maximum tax relief. Therefore, the government policy is to have a continuous discussion to enhance trade relations with the USA. Unless Sri Lanka signed an agreement in this connection in the 1st of August, the 30% tax will be effective. Therefore, the government is trying to continue bilateral discussions to get the tax further reduced. Opposition leader Sajid Premdas said he accepts that 30% reduced tax is a starting point, but a very special diplomatic mediation is needed within a period of the next 3 weeks. When the US trade representatives and the proposal form of the Commerce Department, White House may change its decision. Therefore, Sri Lanka should develop a direct relationship with the White House.
Chief of Staff එක්ක හරි ඒ සාකච්ඡා පවත්වලා ඒක ඍජුව පැවැත්වීමේ වැදගත්කම මම ඔබතුමාට මේ අවස්ථාවේ පෙන්නලා දෙනවා විපක්ෂයේ මේකට ඉදිරිපත් කරන
Deputy Minister Anil Jayantha Fernandes said that the interpretation given by the opposition are contradictory. If there is a problem erupted between Sri Lanka and the US, the proposal made by the opposition are correct. However, this is a global situation and cannot be changed by personal influence. Sri Lanka cannot directly talk to the US, but the government continues to talk in diplomatic manner.
Now, the all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange crossed the 18,500 mark for the first time today. It has been a specialty that the Colombo Stock Exchange recorded a productive increase today, a day after the US declared a 30% tariff for exports from Sri Lanka. The all-share price index showed an increase of 2.09% according to share market records. SP and SL's 20 price index recorded a value of 2.39%. The all-share price index surpassed the 18,000 margin, setting up a new record in the afternoon today. The Colombo share market recorded a high also on Wednesday.
Professor Suranga Silva of the Department of Economics in the University of Colombo expressed his views on the USA tax policy.
We have seen that recent tariff changes of USA under Trump's economic administrations. It has created economic shock for the world, and right now we have realized that Sri Lanka has able to reduce the tariff rate from 44% to 30%. That is a very achievement. At the same time, our competitive countries, those who are exporting their apparel industry, basically their rates are very relatively higher than Sri Lanka. Example, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia. This country's actual rate is relatively higher than Sri Lanka. So therefore, under the game theory of foreign trades, we will be able to have some kind of comparative advantage. But we can actually look at the different angle. One thing is we can actually promote more high quality product. At the same time, more personalized, customer driven product development. We have to try. We should try to find out reduce the cost structure of Sri Lankan apparel product, because when we are looking at the apparel export to USA, 60% of our total export to USA is represented by apparel. So therefore, quality improvement and the sustainable application, basically we have seen that the European and the Western countries, they are looking for sustainable application for apparel products. So I think Sri Lanka has a great advantage for applying the sustainable application, sustainable principle application for apparel product. At the same time, trade diplomacy between the different countries, individual different countries like other European countries, we can actually look at that aspect as well.
Now, in more local news, President Anurukumara Dissanayake says that while steering the country forward economically and improving the people's standard of living, political authorities and public officials should be integrated into a unified system. The president stated that no one can work in an isolation, and he called upon everyone to support the government's initiatives aimed at benefiting the public. President Anurukumara Dissanayake made these remarks today while attending the Hambantota District Special Coordination Committee meeting held at the auditorium of the Hambantota District Secretariat. Issues and challenges in the district's development activities were extensively discussed, including problems in the agriculture, fisheries, health, education, rural roads, land and irrigation sectors, along with potential solutions and the successful implementation of the digitalization program. The allocations made through the 2025 budget for ministries, departments and institutions, as well as the progress of this ongoing projects and those planned to commence before the end of this year using these funds were also reviewed. Although 574 million rupees has been allocated for the Hambantota district this year under the Southern Province Development Program, it was revealed that only about 23 million rupees has been spent so far amounting to approximately 4% progress. The President questioned officials about this and stressed the needs to properly utilize the relevant allocations to meet public needs before the end of this year. Land issues, including the clearance of land belonging to the Mahaweli Authority, were also discussed. President Anurukumara Dissanayake said that instead of granting land to various authorities and for irregular transactions, the country needs a culture of allocating land to suitable individuals for economically productive purposes. The President also instructed that a proper review be conducted of the school system in the Hambantota district and that a comprehensive plan be presented. He emphasized that this plan must ensure quality education for all children, effective management of human resources and optimal use of available resources. The President pointed out that problem cannot be solved through emotions or assumptions and that a structured data system is essential. He stated that data should be analyzed and used as a foundation for formulating solutions. Attention was also drawn to problems within public institutions, including staff shortages. The President weakened public service, including recruiting 30,000 new employees after a gap of 5 years. He also noted that the upcoming budget is expected to allocate funds for providing essential vehicles to facilitate the duties of officers, including divisional secretaries. The President also reviewed matters concerning the Hambantota Elephant Management Reserve. He stressed the importance of implementing the proposed elephant corridor project by acquiring the identified lands, regardless of whether they belong to the public or private sector. Agricultural issues in the district, along with problems related to the fisheries harbour, were also discussed, including potential short-term and long-term solutions. Attention was also drawn to a letter submitted by health officials requesting 70 million rupees to complete the construction of the kidney unit at the Hambantota District General Hospital. The President said he would personally intervene and discuss the matter with the Treasury to secure the required funds. The President noted that while in the past the country's development was measured by the construction of large buildings, today it is measured by technology. He stated that digital transformation within the next 5 years is a key government objective. To this end, the President highlighted the importance of creating a cultural shift among citizens. He announced that the upcoming month of September would be declared as a month for promoting a digital culture in the country, with awareness programs being planned. The President further stated that our country should be recognized with a new identity in the digital world and that the digital ID will mark a new milestone in that journey.
Commissioner General of Examinations AKS Indika Kumari says that 237,026 students have qualified for the advanced level studies according to the results of this year's GCE O-level examinations. She revealed these facts at a press briefing held today at the Examination Department regarding the issuance of the results. 434,147 students sat for the O-level examinations this year. Out of them, 398,182 are school candidates and 73.45% school students are eligible to do A-levels. 13,392 students have obtained A passes for all subjects they appeared. As a percentage, this is 4.15%. 2.37% of students have failed all subjects. Majority of the passes are reported from the southern province with a percentage of 75.64% passing. In other provinces, Western Province has a passing rate of 74.47%, Central Province 73.91%, Northern Province 69.86%, Eastern Province 74.26%, Northwestern Province 71.47%, North Central Province 70.24%, Uva Province 73.14% and Sabaragamuwa Province 73.44%. Commissioner General of Examinations AKS Indika Kumari stated that the pass rate had increased this time, especially in language subjects. She mentioned that anyone could check the exam results by accessing the official website of the Sri Lanka Department of Examination, and she also informed that students who wish to request a re-evaluation of their results could submit their applications online between the 14th to the 28th of July.
The Supreme Court today confirmed ruling issued by the Appeal Court, the verdict by the Colombo High Court regarding the largest financial fraud in South Asia. The Supreme Court today issued the verdict providing the ruling of a motion presented by the Attorney General against the petition of appeal filed by defendant who has been punished by the court. The Colombo High Court had ordered jail terms of 20 years of rigorous imprisonment along with fines against 3 defendants regarding a fraud of 3.9 billion rupees due for the Inland Revenue Department. This has been regarded as the largest fraud in South Asia during the period from 15 November 2002 to 15 December 2004. All 3 defendants were absconding, and although they petitioned in the appeal court against the ruling, the court had confirmed the verdict of the High Court. The Supreme Court stressed that no further request should be entertained regarding this case. The Colombo Special Trial at Bar decided today to postpone the filing of indictments for former Health Minister Kehelia Rambukwella and 12 other defendants until 16th of September regarding the incident of the purchase of substandard antibody vaccines. The reason for this decision has been that attachments to be presented with indictments of this case have still not been printed. The case filed against Yoshita Rajapaksa, the son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, and his grandmother Daisy Forrest regarding the Prevention of Money Laundering Act will be called for hearing on the 28th of this month. This case has been filed against them by the Attorney General, alleging that they have acquired assets and property legally to the tune of 73 million rupees. Since the judge hearing this case on leave, the Colombo Magistrates Court ordered the case to be taken up for the hearing on the 28th of this month. The Colombo Magistrates Court also ordered today to call for hearing the case against former Minister Mervyn Silva on the 28th of this month. Since the justice is on leave at present, the Bribery Commission has filed 2 allegations against Mervyn Silva, alleging that he has committed an offence by acquiring property exceeding his legal income. Meanwhile, the Bribery Commission made a request in the Colombo Magistrates Court today to issue an order to take former Minister Rajeshwar Senaratne into custody. The request has been made in accordance with an investigation conducted by the Bribery Commission. The Bribery Commission requested the court to issue warrants to take him into custody, since Rajeshwar Senaratne is avoiding assisting the investigations by being present at the Bribery Commission. The court said that such an order cannot be issued without inspecting the concerned reports, as the records are required by the court in order to issue such orders.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Dasisa says that some opposition groups who have expressed numerous views regarding the clearances of containers are now scared to extend their support for the investigations conducted in this connection. The minister made these remarks answering a query raised by the opposition in Parliament today over the clearances of containers. Minister Dr. Nalinda Dasisa stated that opposition MPs have claimed weapons are being stored in containers both inside and outside the Parliament. He said the government considered this a very serious matter, and as the existence of such weapons could pose a threat to national security beyond party politics. He emphasised that it was the government's duty to pass such information to police investigation divisions, regardless whether the claims were made inside or outside the Parliament. He urged MPs not to be afraid to present the information they had to CID or security forces and warned against using parliamentary privilege to spread false allegations for political gain. He stressed that if such sensitive national security information had been revealed, the CID had a duty to investigate, and opposition MPs should not hesitate to come forward. MP Dayasri Jayasekara said that he has been questioned for 5 hours and had explained everything during that time, but he had clarified that he had not spoken about weapons. He said that he had only described the situation regarding the containers and had not personally made any mentions of weapons. He informed the CID that the containers had been released by government representative, specifically naming Bimal Ratnayaka and his deputies. He had requested those individuals be questioned. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka strongly denied allegations against him, stating that he had never authorized release of any custom containers and that the accusations were entirely false. He recalled that the initial claims made in January had falsely linked the containers to the Western Province Governor and the custom-related trade union. He noted that 5 months later, the opposition MPs shifted the blame on him. He challenged those making accusations to report to the CID having the matter investigated and prove his guilt in court. He stressed that he had not entered politicals for financial gain and had earned nothing from the matter. He stated that he has no authority over containers and criticized the opposition for relying on baseless gossip and misusing the parliamentary privileges to attack MPs' reputations. He urged those making allegations to share their information with the investigative authorities.
please. ඔබතුමා ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂයට අයිතිවාසිකම් ආරක්ෂා කරන්න ඕන. මේ ඉස්ලාමීය ජනතාවට රටේ ඉඳි ආවිල්ලා ඒක ඩෙමරේජ් ගෙවන්න කියලා මගෙන් ඉල්ලපු වෙලාවල මම ඒවටවත් අවසර දීලා නැහැ. මට එහෙම දෙන්න බලයකුත් නැහැ. මම රේගුවෙන් එක කිසිම දෙයක් නිදහස් කිරීමට මට තියෙන බලයවත් මම පාවිච්චි කරලා නැහැ කරු කතානායකතුමා. සංස්කෘතික අමාත්‍යාංශය සම්පූර්ණ බදුත් සම්පූර්ණ ඩෙමරේජ් සුද් කියලා තමයි ඩේට්ස් පවා නිදහස් කරගත්තේ. මට බලයකුත් නැහැ ඔය කන්ටේනර් ගැන මම කරලත් නැහැ. ඒක දැන් තියෙන්නේ මෙතන පාර්ලිමේන්තු වරප්‍රසාද පාවිච්චි කරලා අර පච නාලිකා ටිකක් තියෙන ඒවා අල්ලගෙන බොරු කියලා ඊට පස්සේ ආයුධයක් තියෙනවා කියලා ප්‍රභාකරන්ගේ ආයුධ ඉතින් දැන් ඒවා කිව්වට පස්සේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඇතුලේ කිව්වා එළියේ කිව්වා ඒවා අතිශය වැදගත් කරුණුනේ මොකද්ද ප්‍රශ්නේ ඔබතුමාලා අත්ත කතා කරනව නේද එහෙනම් පිළිගන්න ඕන අපි කිව්ව බොරු කියලා කිව්ව එක බොරු කියලා පිළිගන්න නැත්තම් තියෙන්නේ පරීක්ෂණ වලට සහයෝගය දෙන්න දැන් ජාතික ආරක්ෂාව සම්බන්ධයෙන්
Minister Vasant Samarasinghe said that certain individuals were claiming that weapons used by Prabhakaran had been brought in through those containers. Yet when the CID summoned them, they were hiding out of fear. He questioned why these MPs were afraid and urged them to submit any evidence they had to the authorities.
President Anura Kumara Dissanayake stated that a society cannot progress without a meaningful connection to its historic heritage and that the nation's development path must be chosen accordingly. The president made these remarks while addressing a ceremonial gathering yesterday afternoon at the historic Ruhunu Kataragama sacred site. President Dissanayake visited Kataragama, participated in the religious observances and later paid a courtesy call on the Venerable Kobawaka Damindanayaka Thera, the chief incumbent of the historic Kirivehara Rajamaha Viharaya. Inquiring about his well-being and engaging in a brief discussion, the president also attended the final Randoli Mahaperahara of the annual Lasala festival at the Ruhunu Kataragama Mahadevalaya, where he witnessed the ceremonial placement of the sacred relic casket upon the relic-bearing tusker. Chief incumbent of the Kataragama Kirivehara Raja Mahaviharaya, Venerable Kobawaka Damindanayaka Thera, said that by the year 2025, this city had existed for a very long time, for 2,186 years. A president has attended this festival ceremony for the first time in the history. Therefore, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake has been given the opportunity to receive that honour. Addressing the gathering, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake emphasized that a nation can only move forward by maintaining its historic heritage. He noted that every developed country in the world has achieved progress by preserving its historical legacy and building upon it, stressing that Sri Lanka too must choose a development path anchored in its heritage. The president highlighted that Buddhism played a pivotal role in transforming the society into a cultured civilization and that cultural festivals like this help revive and strengthen the moral and social values of a society, often preoccupied with material pursuits. The president pointed out that the Ruhunu Kataragama Perahara has been held continuously for 2,186 years, spanning nearly 100 generations, that its survival has been possible due to the deep connection between the cultural ceremony and the lives of the people. The president extended his gratitude to all those, including the chief incumbent, who contributed to the success of this year's procession. Among those present at the occasion were Deputy Minister R.M. Jayawardena, Governor of the Uva Province, Kapila Jayasekara. More news waiting for you after the mid-break.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Continuing with more local stories, the first program to raise awareness among the parliamentarians regarding the proposed new educational reforms was held today at the Parliamentary complex under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. Awareness has been raised among parliamentarians regarding the aims and objectives of the new education reforms, main pillars of education reforms in curricula, orders in implementations of reforms and teacher training. The program has been jointly compiled by the Ministry of Education, National Educational Institute and the National Education Commission. One of the main objectives of the new education reforms is to lay the basic foundation to create a citizen capable of facing challenges in the 21st century and beyond. It has also been emphasized that another objective is to participate in the new citizen in the process of sustainable development and the peace of the country. Special discussions are also held regarding the changes in education towards children with special physical needs.
Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that action is being taken amidst a host of challenges to achieve high-quality laboratory services by specialists of chemical pathology of this country. The minister made this observation joining the 10th annual academic session of Sri Lanka Consultant Doctors Institute of Chemical Scientists. The session, under the topic Revelation of Challenges, Quality Discussion for Excellence, was held in Colombo. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa was the chief guest on this occasion. The annual academic session was organized by bringing the present concepts together of the professionals of chemical pathology and laboratory and chemical procession.
Despite the challenges posed by the financial constraints following SARS-CoV-19, Laboratory Medicine Sri Lanka continues to provide exemplary service in association with the Ministry of Health to safeguard our community. As a Minister of Health, I fully appreciate the challenges encountered by the experts in chemical pathology in Sri Lanka as they endeavour to surmount obstacles in their pursuit of achieving and upholding the highest standard of laboratory services. I also value the efforts of the College of Chemical Pathologists in Sri Lanka, which led to this international collaboration in scientific discourse. It stands as a testament to their dedication to excellence in clinical practice and continuous professional development, and underscores their commitment to advancing the field. This glorious event serves as a vital platform for discussion, debate, learning, knowledge enhancement, and professional networking, all aimed at refining our collective capabilities to deliver the highest standard of health care to the citizens of our motherland.
The Coconut Development Board says that felling down of coconut trees has been banned at any circumstances. Chairman of the board, Dr. Sunimal Jayakodi, made these observations joining a media briefing held with regard to the 2 weeks of promotion of coconut cultivation. Chairman of the Coconut Development Board, Dr. Sunimal Jayakodi, stated that they strongly discourage land fragmentation and the use of coconut growing land for the settlements. He said that they request the cultivators and the general public to oppose such practices. He added that they were looking into tightening the law and pointed out that under the Coconut Development Act, no one had the right to cut even a single coconut tree. He further mentioned that the tree could only be removed under certain conditions. If it has died or posed a threat, even then a license or a permit was required. He explained that such permissions were issued by the District Agriculture Officer and the process took place under the board's supervision.
Now more local news items in brief. New Excise Commissioner MBNA Premaratna assumed his duty today. Addressing the gathering, he said that the Excise Department will be controlled under new system. He added that a digital project is to be implemented for this purpose. The National Livestock Development Board's project for starting trade stalls island-wide was held at the Maradana railway station today under the patronage of Minister of Agriculture, Livestock, Land and Irrigation K.D. Lal Kanta. A person was admitted to Panadura Base Hospital following a shooting incident with gunshot injuries. The person was in sleep at night in a house in Malamulla in Panadura area when the shooting occurred at early dawn. The victim has been identified as a 32-year-old father of 2 children. Police said that an unidentified person arrived on a motorcycle and shot at him twice. The two-story building with 8 classrooms at the Almeena Mahavidyalaya in Polonnaruwa was vested with the students recently. A businessman in Polonnaruwa has donated this building. Money collected from the public for the treatment of veteran singer Ishaq Beg was handed over to him at the Sudarshi Hall premises in Colombo 7 yesterday. This has been organised by the Sri Lanka Singers Association. The 38th anniversary of popular singer H.R. Jyotipala was held at the Sudarshi Hall in Colombo recently. A donation of dry rations for parents of low-income families was also held at the occasion. The convocation of 2025 of the National Business Management Institute was held recently at the PMICH premises. 500 undergraduates were conferred with degrees under various courses related to management and leadership, information technology and for several postgraduate courses. The convocation was held under the patronage of Director General of NIBM Dr. D.M.A. Kulasurya, Chairman of the NIBM Dr. Gunathilaka Tantiragama, and many others were also present at this occasion. Foreign news coming up. Many other trade partners and plans to announce new tariffs on the European Union soon. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said Canada will continue protecting its workers and businesses as negotiations continue. Canada already faces several U.S. tariffs, including a 25% tariff on some goods, plus global steel, aluminium and auto tariffs from the U.S. It is unclear if the new tariffs will affect goods covered by the North American Trade Agreement. Trump said tariffs could be avoided if Canadian companies manufacture products in the U.S. Trump linked the tariffs to Canada's handling on fentanyl flow into the U.S., U.S. dairy tariffs and the trade deficit. He said tariffs might change depending on Canada's cooperation. Canada says it has made progress fighting fentanyl and is working with the U.S. to protect communities. Data shows most fentanyl seizures happen at the U.S.-Mexico border. Now in your sports news, Sri Lanka won the first T20 International against Bangladesh by 7 wickets.
More than 25,000 fans attended to watch the event at Pallekele International Cricket Stadium yesterday. After winning the toss, Sri Lanka invited Bangladesh to bat first and they scored 154 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Parvez Hossain scored 38 runs. In bowling, Mahesh Deekshan captured 2 wickets for 32 runs and Datsun Chanaka captured a wicket in his 4 overs for 22 runs. Chasing victory target of 155, Sri Lanka opened the innings with Pathum Nissanka and Kusal Mendis. The pair provided an excellent start to the Sri Lankan innings by providing a partnership of 78 runs for the first wicket. Pathum Nissanka scored 42 runs in just 16 balls, which included 5 boundaries and 3 sixes. Kusal Mendis scored his 7th T20 half-century when he scored 73 runs. His innings was consisting of 51 balls, including 5 boundaries and 3 sixes. Kusal Janith Pereira also made a valuable contribution of 24 runs. Captain Charit Asalanka won the match for Sri Lanka with a 6. Sri Lanka scored 159 runs in 19 overs. Kusal Mendis was declared the man of the match, and the second T20 match will be played at Dambulla International Cricket Stadium on the 13th of this month. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.